we want to talk about what the differences are between individual and group interviews when it comes to sitting selective schools. I'm Katie Craze.
And I'm Lorraine Yarderberg, and we work for JK Educate.
So the interviews have two very different takes to them. You have the group interview and then you have the individual. Some do both and some just do one. What we'd like to do is to discuss what the differences are. So Lorraine, if we're looking at a group interview, what does it look like? How many children would be in that group? And what is the tutor looking for? What are they looking to see in this type of interview?
Well, first of all, they're basically looking to see the children off guard.
Yeah.
So as soon as you put a group of children together, they get excited by each other being present and they start to lose their inhibitions. And so the group interview is designed to do that. So your child is going to be a little bit off guard, they're going to be interested in what's going on around them, but meanwhile the school is going to be testing them to see exactly what they're made of, how they're thinking, what knowledge they have. So they're going to be looking at academic knowledge, they're going to be looking at the way your child behaves, and they're going to look at how they interact both with each other and with the teacher who's leading the session.
And a really important part of that is listening skills, because in a group situation, often the child will be very keen to share what they have to share, but not very good at listening to what others are saying.
Absolutely, and often they bring in props for those interviews. So there might be any number of different props. It could be food, it could be balloons, it can be anything that's going to excite children and get them misbehaving, if you like. But it is exciting for the children. And so what we have to do is to make sure that children are prepared for that and that they know that they're going to be watched and that they need to behave properly and appropriately with whatever they're going to be presented with, and to be thinking on their feet whilst this is going on.
Our philosophy when it comes to preparing your child for the interviews are the children have to be themselves, but they have to be the best version of themselves they can be.
Exactly.
So being aware in a group interview that you're being watched all the time and behaviour is really important is key to this.
Exactly.
And how well you respect the other people in the group.
Katie, I wanted to ask you, when you look at the group interview compared to the individual interview, what do you think the difference is for the child? What are they going to actually experience as being the difference, and what are the schools looking for when they're doing the interview with the individual child?
The main difference is obviously the child is on their own, and it could be that the child is interacting with one adult, or it could be that the child's interacting with two adults. They're looking to see how well the child formulates their answers, how well they interact with adults, how well they can express themselves. The actual questions themselves aren't always the most important thing, it's just how they deal with the questions. And I always say to the children that there are only three ways that they can mess up in this type of interview. One is by saying nothing, the other is by the constant or the third way is to go straight in with a I don't know. As long as they have an answer and they can explain their answer, that's always a really good job done when it comes to individual interviews. But what are they looking for? When we ask, Lorraine and I are constantly asking the teachers, when you do an interview, what are you looking for? And the answer is, and it makes perfect sense, they're looking for a child that they would like in their class. They're looking for a child that they would like to teach. So when it comes to the individual interviews, it's the child being able to talk about whatever it is they're asked. What's your favourite book? What, in your opinion, makes a good book? Why do you want to come to my school? Tell me about your hobbies. We can't prepare the children for the questions because every year they're going to be different. But what you can do at home is give your children lots of questions and give them the confidence in being able to answer it, and then follow it up with a reason. So it's always good not just to give an answer, but then explain why that is their answer.
Thank you. I hope we've been able to answer a little bit of the question, what is the difference between group interviews and individual interviews. Thank you.